Hi everyone, this is Rabbi Perolman. I'm one of the clergy here at Congregation B'nai Jeshurun in Short Hills, and I'm excited to share with you a few lessons, a few thoughts about this week's Torah portion. We are nearing the end of the book of Exodus, and Exodus of course begins with the singular story of our people's slavery and freedom from the land of Egypt, and of course our celebration as we walk through the parted seas, and now our journey toward the land of Israel. This journey, of course, takes 40 years, not because of its geographical distance from Egypt to Israel, but because of the distance that the people needed to travel in their own hearts as they started to move from a mindset of slavery to a mindset of freedom. What it would be like for them to build the nation of Israel, first in transit and then settled, of course, in the Promised Land. This week we read Parshat Ki Tisa, which is one of those Torah portions. There's just not enough time to say everything because so much is happening. We first hear laws for creating this first census, and then the sort of piece of the story that we might know the best, of course, is the building of the golden calf. Now, the story sometimes is presented that the people wanted a new God. But let's look at the text itself. We learn that Moses has been up on Mount Sinai for a long time, 40 days, 40 nights. The people do not know what's happened to him, and they start to get nervous. They are uncomfortable. The text actually says they are embarrassed. They're not sure what they're doing, standing at the foot of Mount Sinai, waiting for a person to come back. They think that he is gone. So they say, we should make a new God because we do not know where that man Moses has gone. We don't know where that person is. You see, they actually really don't want God. They don't want a new God. They actually want their relationship with the God that freed them from Egypt. But they're not sure of where Moses has gone. They need that physical representation of a human being in order to make sure that their relationship with God is close and connected. They don't know any other way to access God except accessing God through another human being. You know, I think so much of that happens in our own lives. When we are looking for God, when we're looking for a sign, when we're looking for something big in the world, sometimes we look for it through the lens of other people, through our families, our communities, people in our lives who help us learn those messages. And indeed, sometimes when the people disappoint us, or when we feel lost, or like a teacher or someone that we followed hasn't lived up to what they've said, that's when we begin to doubt God. I might suggest that this week, as we read this Torah portion, that we try to separate the two. There's God and there's people, and we connect in all different ways. But to let our relationship with people be one thing, to let it build and strengthen and grow, be challenged, break, and reunite, just like, by the way, the broken pieces of our tablet that we learn about this week when Moses breaks them on the ground after seeing the golden calf. But even more important is our relationship with God. That gets to be its own thing. We get to have a relationship with God that can be strengthened, can be fractured, can be strained, around and around in a circle throughout the inevitable challenges and successes of our lives. I'm wishing each of you a Shabbat Shalom, a Shabbat filled with the blessing of community, the blessing of the people in our lives, and of course the blessing of knowing there's something bigger than all of us, watching over us, guiding us, helping us to remember that those tablets that we received on the top of Mount Sinai that have been passed down for all those generations, that those are the laws and the rules, the values with which we carry out our lives. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.